If you're into the glamour of the 90s and the 90s supermodel, then you probably have heard of
Claudia Schiffer.
It is glamorous, and it's a fabulous job. I think it's one of the greatest jobs you can ever have as a young girl. Of course, there's some parts that are not as great as everybody thinks, and it's not the modeling itself, because that's very easy. Anybody could do that.
She was one of the most successful models of the 90s. She has appeared on more than 1,000 magazine covers and holds the record for the model with the most magazine covers, listed in the Guinness Book of World Records.
I said up front that 600 magazine covers. That's astounding. Do you have them all? Do you save them?
No.
You don't frame them?
Who puts up their own picture on a wall? I mean,
Bingo.
And in 2002, Forbes estimated her net worth to be around $55 million. So she's done pretty well for herself. She has spoken on some issues with the modeling industry, which we will get into. But before we get into all of that, as usual, I mean, she is a model. We are going to get into her beauty secrets, her hair secrets, as well as a couple of her favorite things, her childhood, her career, and how she got her start into everything. But first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Karine Alourde, where we deep dive and break down the most iconic stars through history. If you're not yet subscribed, please be sure to do so and turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. Now let's get into this video, and let's start first with her beauty. Claudia, the iconic supermodel of the 90s, is famous for her timeless beauty and effortless style. Her makeup, hair, and skincare routine are all carefully curated, making her one of the most sought after models of all time. Her beauty secrets are varied and have been gathered through years of experience spent in front of the camera. She always applies mascara and uses an eyelash curler to enhance the length and volume of her eyelashes. She loves a smoky eye and tends to go for shades in the browns, grays, blacks, and taupe colors. When it comes to lip color, she prefers peaches and apricots for a more natural look, and on her cheeks, she likes a fresh pink for a healthy natural glow. For contour, she uses a soft brown powder on high cheekbones and a light brown powder applied above her eyes or the corner of her forehead and the top of her nose to give the appearance of a sun-kissed look. Hair is a signature feature that has been styled to perfection over the years. She always combs her conditioner in from the bottom up to avoid breakage and has regular haircuts to keep her hair tip-top shaped. Her favorite way to style her hair is with a soft wave, which she achieves with tongs. When she styles it herself, it's usually straight. Her favorite hair products include a good hairbrush with slightly harder bristles to get out all the knots and tangles. When it comes to skincare, her routine is simple but effective. She uses Benford for the basics, which includes a serum, oil, and cream to keep her skin hydrated and fresh looking. The products help seal everything in and calm everything down. When she needs to clear her skin, she uses a cleansing and clearing mask from the same line, sometimes coupled with Epsom salt bath. Apart from that, she washes her face with water in the morning and takes off her makeup in the evening before going to bed. Fashion style is characterized by a love for timeless pieces in neutral colors like beige, black, and white. She mixes high street fashion with designer pieces and is a big fan of vintage finds. Her fashion sense has been influential in the industry, appearing in numerous fashion campaigns and serving as inspiration for up-and-coming designers. She maintains her fit and youthful physique through a healthy diet and regular exercise. She is known to eat a healthy diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, avoiding processed foods. She also exercises regularly, including yoga to improve flexibility and strength training to promote muscle tone and cardiovascular endurance. She has released 4 exercise videos which reached the bestsellers list. Nails are always painted for a polished finishing touch. Her favorite colors are red for both her hands and her toes. She created her own nail line, and her favorite shade in the line are Popsicle and Kingsman. Now, in terms of her favorite things, her favorite color is green, so leave a green heart in the comments for her, and she loves red wine paired with chocolate. Her favorite food includes a large slab of goose pate with French toasted baguette and a glass of red wine, and her favorite place to eat this is in the Paris at L'Ami Louis. Now, let's talk about her being the ice queen. Unlike the wilder supermodels of the era like Kate Moss, which I did a video for, you will enjoy, she never made headlines for being drunk at after show parties. She said, and I quote, "In the last 30 years, I had the reputation as a sort of ice queen, a little cool professional and always restrained when out of the spotlight, a somewhat harsh but not unfair description." She further stated that many people called her the ice queen because she was distant and standoffish, when in reality, she was just super shy. "I'm quite a shy, private person," she tells the Post. "The new generation nowadays, they don't have a filter. They can just share and share anything at any moment, and I find it quite hard to share more than just certain things. So if I had to do that in the 90s, I think I would have failed," end quote. I must note that her demeanor as the Ice Queen probably is what kept her safe all these years in the shady business of being a 90s model. She had morals and integrity. The world of modeling had always been shrouded in mystery and glamour, but there is a darker side that many are hesitant to talk about. It's a world where beautiful women are sought after and paid a lot of money to accompany wealthy men on dates and even more intimate encounters. Claudia recently revealed that she was once approached by an Arab prince who offered her $1 million to accompany him to dinner. She declined the offer, but another supermodel reportedly took the job.
I was just naturally always sexy, if that makes sense. So I think I would be put into these shoots that were sexier.
I was a kid, so I felt very submissive to all of these people who I equated as authority figures.
The photographer tried to put me in these like little tiny bathing suits and was like, "It's okay if things fall out." And I'm like, "No, I'm 13. This is not okay."
If I was told to do something, I did it. I wanted to do a good job at this crazy opportunity that I was presented with.
And one day there was a new girl that came in and she was shooting. And I was trying to get to know her. She said, "My agency asked me if I would be willing to go out with this guy, and they were willing to pay me." She's like, "Do you do those types of things? Like, if your agency asks you, is that something you should do? Like, I don't want them to be upset with me."
If girls kind of get trapped in a cycle of debt to their agency, or they get, pushed into prostitution, which happens, it can be really rough. There's a lot of like young girls that end up that way.
I don't believe in young girls getting signed or blowing up that quickly. I don't think it's fair because it takes away a part of your innocence, like something that you can never get back. If you don't have the right people around you, you could easily end up on a yacht with some rich guy doing loads of drugs and fall off and die, or get an eating disorder, or, just fall into the wrong hands.
In the early 90s, stars of the fashion world start to blend with other celebrities. Supermodels are now known for both the clothes on their backs and the men on their arms. But before a model can make it to the A-list, she must make it through the hands of powerful and sometimes predatory gatekeepers.
Jean-Luc Brunel had a horrible habit of using the merchandise for reasons that were not above board. The same thing happens with every one of these guys. Look at Gerald Marie. It just so happened that in his off hours, he was treating models like garbage.
It was Gerald Marie, John Casablancas.
While on an agency retreat in Ibiza, American agent Marie Anderson overhears a conversation she can't ignore.
Lisa Herzog from New York Elite and Trudy Tapscott from New York Elite. And both of these young women were begging the men to stop sleeping with the young teenage girls. And John's response was, "Lisa, Trudy, it's not that big of a deal. Like, stop being so puritanical."
Disgusted by the blatant abuses of power, Marie Anderson quits her job as an agent at Elite.
I kept trying to have this conversation, and people were like, "Marie, shut up. Nobody wants to hear this crap. This is part of the business. Just accept it."
It's scary to think that some of the most famous and successful models in the industry are essentially being paid for their companionship. While some may argue that it's no different than being a high-end escort, there are some major differences. Models don't typically advertise their availability for these types of jobs, it's hush-hush, and they often don't like to talk about them either. The modeling industry has been criticized for perpetuating a culture of objectification and sexualization of young women, and while many models have found success and financial stability through their careers, others have been taken advantage of by unscrupulous individuals. In the wake of these revelations, there has been a push for reforms within the industry, with models calling for greater protection and accountability. It remains to be seen if these efforts will be successful, but for now it's clear that the modeling world is not all glitz and glamour. Behind the scenes, there is a darker, more unsettling reality that many young models are forced to confront. Many of the young models that rose to fame in the 90s were also caught up in this secretive side of the industry. They were approached by wealthy men who wanted their company and were willing to pay top dollar for for it. Some of these models even use the opportunity to launch their own careers, leveraging their connections to get better gigs and more exposure. And some of these models even married these men. You'll see they're not, you know, the most attractive men, but they're super wealthy and they just use it to climb up higher. But there is a creepy side to this world too. Some of these wealthy men could be dangerous, and it's not uncommon for models to end up in compromising situations. I did a video for Grace Jones where she talked about that in the model houses, how she often had to fight off a lot of men that would come to try to, you know, do things to her and the other girls that were living there. And these men would have money and they would just feel entitled to do this. So there is that dark, creepy side to it also. It's a shame that so many young women have been forced to navigate this world just to make a living. Claudia's refusal to take the Arab Prince offer is noteworthy, as it shows that she has a strong sense of integrity and didn't compromise her values for money. She's already a millionaire in her own right, and she doesn't need to rely on questionable side gigs to make ends meet, you know? But I'm also not going to judge these girls, because a lot of them get into this industry really, really young. In the 90s, they were getting discovered at like 10 years old, 11, 12, you know? And then they were traveling without parents, or their parents essentially didn't raise them on the road, which is why I always appreciate Tyra Banks' mom, who always traveled with her. But this also made Tyra a target with the other girls, because they were envious that their parents, you know, didn't want to travel with them or wasn't around. But a lot of them didn't have that luxury. And so can you imagine the kind of influences you're around, being traveling to Paris, Milan, and your family is like thousands of miles away and there's bad influences all around you? You kind of grow up into wanting to get into that lifestyle. And the modeling life was a high lifestyle, you know, jets, private jets, expensive restaurants. People would give you anything, want to take pictures with you. Being a supermodel was a big deal. So a lot of women didn't want to lose that opportunity and the luxury that they got accustomed to from their teenage years. So I'm not going to judge them for that. But with all that said, let's get into Claudia's childhood, okay? Claudia was a German supermodel, and she had a childhood that was quite different from what one might imagine. She was born on August 25th, 1970 in Rheinberg, West Germany. Claudia was the daughter of a lawyer and a housewife. She grew up in a well-to-do suburb of Dusseldorf with her three siblings, brothers Steven and Andreas, and younger sister Anne Carolyn. Despite being from a privileged background, Claudia was awkward and shy at school. She felt like she was different from other girls and had certain hang-ups. However, she excelled academically, particularly in subjects like chemistry and mathematics. Claudia even dreamed of becoming a lawyer someday, but fate had something else in store for her. Interestingly, Claudia can speak 3 languages fluently: German, English, and French. Growing up in a multilingual family certainly helped her develop this skill. Her father was a lawyer and her mother was a housewife who took care of their 4 children.
You've been modeling since you were, I'm guessing, a teenager?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
4 years.
4 years? Where are you from in Germany?
From Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf. Tell me, what is Dusseldorf like?
I'm coming from a very small town and nobody knows that particular
What is the small town?
It's called Rheinberg.
Oh,
It's on the other
Rheinberg.
side of the Rhine.
Oh, yeah. And is it lovely there? Is it picturesque?
Yeah, it's a beautiful old town with one church and one cinema, one ice cream store. My father's a lawyer close by, and yeah, they're still out there. I'm the only one that lives in the United States. I'm not living in the United States, but who travels around the world. My family is very important for me.
Now, where do you make your home now, though? You're not still living in Germany, are you?
No, I'm living in Monaco.
Monaco.
Claudia's family had described her as a curious and intelligent child who was always asking questions and trying to expand her knowledge. One of Claudia's hobbies as a child was dancing. She loved to dance, and her parents enrolled her in ballet classes. However, her passion for physics led her to win the City Olympiad in physics when she was just 15 years old. The victory opened up opportunities for Claudia, including the chance to enter the University of Munich without taking the exam. Despite her academic achievements, Claudia struggled with her self-esteem as a child. Her family has revealed that she was a bit of an introvert and found it challenging to socialize with other children her age. However, she did not let this hold her back when it came to achieving her goals. Claudia's nationality is German, and she is proud of her heritage. Her upbringing was strict, and her father in particular was a firm parent, but nevertheless, his high standards helped Claudia develop a strong sense of discipline and focus. While Claudia's childhood was not without its challenges, she did not experience any type of bullying. Instead, she embraced her differences and channeled her energy towards her academic pursuits. Her gifts in physics and multilingual ability set her apart from her peers and eventually led to her discovery by the Metropolitan Modeling Agency. Claudia's career as a model can be traced back to a fateful night in 1987 when she was scouted in a nightclub in Dusseldorf by Michael Levington. the head of Metropolitan Model Agency. At the time, she was only 17 years old and had aspirations of becoming a lawyer. However, her life took a different turn when she was signed to the agency and flew to Paris for a trial photo shoot.
I was found in a dancing in a nightclub the weekend with friends. I was 17. This was 3 years ago. I was going to school in Germany like every other girl.
Her early success as a model came in 1989 when she starred in campaigns for Guess, which catapulted her to international fame.
Today, Claudia's net worth is in the millions, but it was the sultry Guess ads that built her image. While the sexy Guess campaign created her Bardot image, at heart, the real Claudia was a bit of a shy wallflower.
I mean, most of my image comes in the Guess Jeans ad, so that's what people probably think I am myself too in real life. But I'm not at all like that in myself. I'm not trying to be sexy or anything. That's one reason, and I was so afraid as well doing shows because I'm basically like a shy person, and to go out there you have to be really strong and and don't care about all those people. But I managed.
Her resemblance to Brigitte Bardot was noted, and she quickly became a sensation in the industry.
Claudia's striking resemblance to Brigitte Bardot made her one hot cover story in 1991 and still today.
Her rise to superstardom continued when Karl Lagerfeld selected her as the new face of Chanel, where she walked in her first fashion show in January 1990. It took a little time for the young model to get on the catwalk with the 5 outstanding supermodels, which were Cindy Crawford, Chrissy Turlington, Naomi Campbell, Linda Evangelista, and Jana Petite. I did videos for all of them. So after joining these models, Claudia got a lot of privileges, such as photos on the covers of world-famous magazines, expensive clubs, private planes, acquaintances with billionaires, stars of show business and sports. The salary of the supermodel was millions of dollars a year. The supermodel is an icon of style and beauty, and she had this to say about being friends with the supermodels. It really became like seeing your friends every day because there were only a small group of girls who walked in all the shows and competed for the big jobs. You went into work knowing who you would probably see that day, she says. Her and her model friends would even pick their jobs based on who else was working. We would call each other and say, I'm going for this campaign, but I'm only going to be in it if you're in it too, she says. The close network protected the models too from uncomfortable situations, a precursor to the movement against the industry harassment that bubbled up in recent weeks. She said, I'd call the other girls and say, don't work with this photographer, he was not very nice, or don't walk in this show, they have copied everything from Versace and Chanel, she says. Over the years, she has walked in fashion shows for multiple high-end fashion houses around the world, including Versace, Christian Dior, Prada, Chanel, and Valentino, to name just a few. In her prime, she was earning a remarkable runway fee of $20,000 per show. As a model, she has broken numerous records, including being the first model to be featured on the cover of Vanity Fair, Rolling Stone, and People magazine. She has also appeared on over 1,000 magazine covers, including Harper's Bazaar, Cosmopolitan, and Time. Furthermore, she was one of 10 models on Vogue 100th anniversary cover in 1992, cementing her status as a fashion icon. The media has described her as one of the most beautiful women in the world, and her appeal to a global audience has assured her a successful career spanning over 25 years. Her beauty and talent as a model have made her a favorite of designers and photographers alike, and her ability to adapt to different trends and styles has kept her relevant even today. Her net worth is estimated at around $60 million, a testament to her incredible success and longevity in an industry that is known for its fickleness. She has endorsed luxury brands such as Chanel, Giorgio Armani, and Bulgari, as well as high street retailers like Mango and Accessorize. In 1997, she signed an exclusive worldwide contract with L'Oreal, a brand she still represents to this day. Claudia's career as a model has been nothing short of extraordinary, from her humble beginnings as a teenager in Germany to her status as a fashion icon. Her has left an incredible mark on the industry. Her record-breaking achievements as a model, combined with her beauty, talent, and business acumen, make her one of the most successful and inspiring models of all time. Now let's get into her relationships. Claudia has had a string of high-profile relationships over the years, but for the past 2 decades, she has been happily married to English film director Matthew Vaughn. The couple tied the knot in a beautiful ceremony in Suffolk on the 25th of May in 2002. Vaughn first met in 2000 on the set of the movie Layer Cake, which Vaughn directed and produced. It was love at first sight, and they began dating soon after. The couple has 3 children together, a son named Caspar, who was born in 2003, and 2 daughters named Clementine and Cosima, who were born in 2004 and 2010 respectively. Despite being in the public eye for so long, her and Vaughn have managed to keep their marriage relatively scandal-free. They have maintained a low profile, often choosing to spend time at their beautiful two-door manor house in Suffolk rather than in the public eye. They also have homes in Notting Hill, London, and Northamptonshire. However, the recent release of the Pandora Papers has shed some light on financial affairs. The Pandora Papers are a trove of leaked documents that reveal the offshore financial dealings of some of the world's wealthiest and most powerful people. And according to the documents, Schiffer has used offshore financial constructs along with other celebrities such as Shakira. It's important to note that offshore accounts are not illegal, and many wealthy individuals use them for legitimate purposes, such as to protect their assets or for tax planning. However, the use of these accounts can sometimes be used for nefarious purposes, such as to hide wealth from tax authorities, or to launder money. It's not clear what motivations were for using offshore accounts, and she has not commented on the Pandora Papers since their release. However, it is interesting to note that the use of offshore accounts by celebrities and other high-profile individuals is a subject of ongoing scrutiny, and the release of the Pandora Papers has only served to bring this issue to the forefront once again. This is all I have for this video, but check out my supermodel playlist, which I'll link in the comment section also for you guys, or you guys can just go click on my profile picture and go to my channel and look for playlists and check out my supermodel playlist. If you watched until the end, leave a green heart in the comments for Claudia. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and if you like the music you're listening to, the link is in the description. Until next time.